I'm running 10 kilometers every day for a month, which is 300 kilometers, which is the equivalent of running 7.1 marathons. So basically, I'm gonna run 2 marathons per week, and then 1 week I get a break and I only have to run 1. So throughout this video as well, I'll be weighing myself every day and just keeping track of how I feel, seeing if the runs get easier, if they get harder every day, or which days the runs are actually harder, which days they're easier, and just also seeing how the weight changes throughout the entire month. And so the rules are as follows. If I miss a day, I'm basically gonna have to run 20K the next day. So I obviously don't wanna do that because I don't wanna run a half marathon in one day. So I'm obviously gonna try to just grind it out, get a 10K run done every day. And also if I do get injured or just something happens in the middle of a run, I can stop there and then continue that run. So I can basically do like a 3 kilometer and then 7 kilometer run, but I need to hit the 10K within that day. All right, and now it's just time to go. Let's go out for that first run. First run's done. Honestly, it feels good. I feel really good after that one. Obviously, it's just 1 run out of 30, but that's 1 run down and only 29 more to go. Day 2 now, still feeling good, but the weather is now around 0 degrees. It's a super windy day, but we're gonna keep going for it. So basically what I am expecting from this is that I will be able to go for a few days, then at some point, maybe like 5-6 days in, it's gonna get really tough, it's gonna hurt, and I'm probably gonna need to start stretching more. And then also my pace is gonna falter because of that. It's gonna be much tougher to do these runs, but then after that, I feel like come like day 25, 26, it's just gonna become a part of the routine and it's just gonna be like, all right, time for that 10K run again. But let's see what actually happens. Second run done now. Honestly, this run wasn't as good as the last one. It was so windy. At some points I just felt like I was standing still. But it feels good to have another one down. Just got hit with some super heavy April rain for day 3, so we're gonna be running at the gym now. That's another one done. Running on the treadmill is actually so tough for me. That's another 10K done. So let's talk about the mental side of this challenge as well. So basically there's a part of the brain called the anterior mid-cingulate cortex, which is responsible for willpower. And basically to activate it, you need to do something that you believe is hard. And this is a fairly new discovery actually that I found out from the Huberman Lab podcast. It basically says that to get more willpower, you need to use more of your willpower. So this part of the brain called the anterior mid-cingulate cortex will get bigger each time you do something that you consider to be hard. And when you don't do something hard like in a day, then it'll actually get smaller. So you basically need to be consistently working on this every single day. Just finished the day 4 run. Bit of an update. My quads feel so shot after this. Yesterday, I was barely able to climb upstairs. It hurts so much, so I'm not ready for what today's gonna bring. The worst part is it's only 40 out of 300 kilometers. Here's the update of the first week. I've just done 70 kilometers. This last run was really tough. I just felt so tired. I couldn't keep going, and hitting that 10K just felt like a really big challenge. My calf has started hurting since about day 3, maybe day 4. I looked that up. It's just because of overstress to the calf and it hasn't had time to just relax. So I've just been icing it and just doing a lot of stretching. On the quads too, my quads actually feel better than maybe like after day 3 they started hurting. About day 3 to day 6 is kind of when it was the peak. Today it's not as bad. Maybe that's just because the calf pain has gotten much worse. But at least it feels good to have that first week done. It definitely feels really tough just trying to get through this. It still feels like the impossible challenge that it felt like at the beginning of it. I've basically had like a 10-minute stretching routine that I've been doing every single day. It feels like now I need to do that twice a day, or even just like a longer stretching routine, just because it is getting tough and I just feel it really in my legs. It feels like normally I wouldn't keep going, but I kind of have to now. All right, so now I just finished 2 weeks of running, and after that I gotta say the toughest runs were probably runs 7, 8, and 9, which just hurt so much. I had the worst pains in my calf. I felt like every step I was gonna take was just telling me to stop, and the same thing with my thighs. But after that it did get a bit easier, and it was basically everything from like the 3rd run I did in a row. It already felt felt like one of those where if I do this run, it's really gonna hurt my body, and that's exactly what happened. The 4th run killed, and it was like that all the way until like the 9th run where it started hurting less. And now for the rest of the week, it hasn't been too bad. The pains have been almost non-existent. So actually this week has been good, and I've actually been running faster as well in like runs 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All of those were much better. The physical side was better, but on the mental side, it's been really hard to get out and run. Just been really fighting it every day. I just sit for like 30 minutes knowing I need to run, and I just can't get outside. It's really tough. So that's probably the hardest part now, just getting through the mental battle of having to run consistently every day. But I have started feeling some pains more again in my calf, so I don't know if those are coming back or not. We'll see what happens the rest of the week. But physically, actually feeling pretty good. I feel ready to do another run, and this challenge doesn't seem as impossible as it did when I started, and especially not as impossible as it did after like day 4. I didn't think I would make it, to be honest. Now I definitely think I can finish this. Also at the start of this week, I basically had no energy. My energy just went to the runs, and then that was it. I couldn't even go to the gym. I couldn't do anything, whereas week 1 I was still going to the gym, doing some resistance training. By the end of the week, I was able to get back into the gym for 1 session, and I feel like this week I'll be able to do a lot more sessions now again. Just finished run number 21 now, so we're in the final stretch. Got 9 more to go. I'm starting to feel it again in the calf, like the pain that it was before. It's definitely not as bad as it was before, but now my knees are starting to hurt with every run, but it definitely looks promising now. I've definitely noticed as well, a lot of this is just mentality. A lot of the times that I would have stopped before because of the pain that I'm feeling, now I just keep going. I'm actually able to get through a lot more than I was, and I am now realizing that there's a lot of pain that I can just run through it and still keep going. Maybe some of that is just luck, because most of the time you could get injured. We're getting to the end of it now, only 3 more runs left, and it's pretty much all just a mental game now. Got to get through those. The pain has pretty much shifted only to my knees now. The rest of my legs and everything is actually feeling okay, so come a long way from it feeling like an impossible challenge that I would never finish to now 3 days just kept at it, kept grinding. And it's also given me a lot more insight about the human body and just how the brain works, and just the fact that we can push our bodies and tap into a lot more than I would have originally thought. And that's it. That's the end of the last run. Honestly, it feels so crazy how good I feel right now after all of these. And it's crazy to just think back and see that after like those first few runs, how tough it was, how I honestly didn't think I would make it through the whole challenge. And now being here and finished running every single day for 10 kilometers. And I feel good. I feel like I can keep going. And mentally too, this just got a lot easier. And just getting through runs, each day kind of got easier as it progressed. Maybe it was just the effect of, okay, I only have like 10 runs, 7 runs. Or maybe it was actually the anterior mid-cingulate cortex working and just getting stronger, getting bigger. But this challenge has definitely showed me that you can actually be capable of a lot more than you think. In terms of pace, my pace has stayed roughly the same the whole time. And I think I'm gonna do like a run in the next few days just to see if my pace gets better. So also throughout this challenge, I was checking my weight every day, and I lost a total of 4.4 kilograms, which is equivalent to 9.7 pounds. And the total calories I burnt on average just from running was about 23,000 calories. So I just did a run 4 days after finishing the challenge. I'm much better rested, and the time got a lot better. So the first run I did was a 5:36 average pace per kilometer, and then after running this one, it was a 5:22 minutes per kilometer. So it dropped down 14. All my runs throughout the entire month were basically hovering around the 5:40s in the average pace. So after a bit of time off, my speed definitely got much better, and I honestly felt so much better doing this run. I could push hard. The last 2 kilometers of the run, I was hitting a 5 minute per kilometer pace, so definitely feel a lot better, definitely got a lot faster by doing this as well. And looking back, I definitely believe this challenge was worth it. It was really tough to complete, and it taught me a lot about just how much we're capable of, and if you really want to commit to something, you can actually do a lot more than you believe. And I honestly don't believe that it got that much easier throughout it. It was still a mental challenge every single day to get through and do that run. But I would definitely recommend doing something like this, whether it is the 10K of running or just something that you find difficult, and just commit to doing something this hard every single day, because you'll see what you're really capable of. And if you really want to commit to something, you'll be able to do it. So just find your 30-day, find the 30-day challenge. That's something you want to strive towards, a goal you want to achieve, and just go out and do it. And you'll be surprised at how well you actually do at something.